If you went a little bit too hard on Thanksgiving Eve this year and need just a touch of booze to bring you back, I've got you. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be turkey with mayo, boozy shallot, mashed potatoes, weird stuff stuffed in here. It's a slightly untraditional Thanksgiving kind of year. Somebody say something. Roasted shallot mashed potatoes with a whiskey gravy may just be the perfect accoutrement to your turkey this year. So you may ask, am I just adding whiskey or booze to this gravy just for the sake of adding it? Yeah, dog, let's hit the sauce. Would you get out of here? Regardless of what he says, as it turns out, alcohol can bring out the flavor of food through molecular bonding and evaporation. So alcohol aromas can carry subtle aromas up to our noses when we taste food, especially through evaporation. Just be careful not to use too much booze or else that's kind of all you'll taste. First, we need to roast some shallots, which is as simple as shallots in an oven-safe pan, 1 knob of butter each, salt, and pepper. Throw these into a 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes until you can cleanly pierce through with a knife.
Hey everyone, really quick announcement. I decided to make a cookbook out of all the recipes in the Slightly Untraditional Thanksgiving video series. So I made them with, some fancy pictures, did the design and all that, added some little stories about my inspiration and all that good stuff. So if you want to pick one up as a way to support me, there is 2 ways to do so. Number 1, you can purchase directly off my website and then you'll get a link to download. Number 2, you can become a Patreon member and then there is a post in the Patreon page where you can just download it for free once you are a Patreon member. But yeah, this is just a way to support me if you guys like what I'm doing. By no means is it necessary, but it is something that I was working on, had a lot of fun to doing it, to kind of understand how to make a cookbook, because eventually, maybe in the next year or so, I want to create like a really long one about some topic. So that is going to wrap it up for the announcement. Back to the video. Thank you all for watching.
All right, not nearly as cool as I thought it was gonna be. But anyway, for my money, you gotta use Yukon Gold potatoes for mashed potatoes. They have this nice fluffy texture compared to something like russets, and they've got this really nice yellow hue. If you haven't tried Yukons before, definitely should. And if you're using something like a russet, I guess that's okay. I'm not gonna judge you, but yeah, I'm probably gonna judge you. All right, very, very simple here. Big ass pot of water, put it on the stove. Stir in and dissolve some salt. And it is a lot of salt. That was probably about 1.5 tablespoons or so for about 1 gallon of water, but we have a lot of potatoes and that's gonna season the inside of them. All I did was peel and cube these up into little pieces. We're just gonna dump them in. Turn that heat up to a medium high. Let this whole thing come to a boil, and then we will just pierce it with a knife, and then that's when we know they're done. Basic but flavorful gravy. Let's start it with some butter. Now you better not have thrown away the turkey parts, especially the neck and the backbone from the spatchcock turkey, which I guess you guys haven't seen yet, so you have to wait 2 days. But just save your turkey parts. Snip them off like so. and let this render down. Make sure you get some of these nice fatty pieces. That'll help some extra fat render down, which is going to be used for our roux. All right, we got flavor in a pan. Turn this down to low. I'm going to come in with some aromatics: onion, celery, carrot, nice sprig of rosemary. We have fat, we've got aromatics. Let's turn it into a roux, add in some flour. All right, now we could come in and deglaze our pan with some of that whiskey. And you're gonna need about 25 milliliters, which is actually just half a shot. Got a little bit too much. Not ready for that in the morning. Things are smelling fine with just a little bit of a hint of that alcohol coming off. Last thing to make this gravy, come in with some chicken stock or turkey stock if you have it, preferably homemade. And for this, you're gonna let everything come up to a simmer, just stir it occasionally, and everything will start to thicken up because of that fat and flour. You can test your thickness just like we did on the bechamel. Use the back of your spoon, rub your finger. If it doesn't immediately go over, it's usually good to go. But there is one thing we gotta do before we strain all this off, and that's add some salt, because we really haven't seasoned this with any salt. You know, we've got all our great aromatics and all of that stuff, but it's not gonna taste good if we don't have salt. Salt's gonna bring out everything and enhance it. Truly amazing just what a little pinch of salt can do. So to finish up our potatoes, we add in our diced roasted shallots, a couple of knobs of butter, pour in some milk, and then I like adding a little dollop of sour cream. Provides a nice little extra sourness. Never forget a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. Then we'll mix this up, give it a taste, and adjust as we see fit. My dude made a hell of a chaser.